What's up?
What's up, ladies and gentlemen? This is the Jaftaf show, and you're
And we are
watching.
the Jaftafs,
Yes.
obviously. So, yeah, today we are going to talk about the movie called Gravity. And as you can see, I'm in space right now. So, yeah.
Yes. Currently, I'm not in space, but yeah, like maybe next time I might be in space.
And we just hope that after listening this episode, you might also lose your gravity and elevate.
Yeah.
So, yeah, guys, the movie came in 2013, and still you watch this movie, and even after 50 years, if you're gonna watch this movie, you're gonna feel elevated
Yeah.
and you are going to miss gravity. Because, okay, I'll tell you one thing. When I was watching this movie, I paused for a while, I went to washroom, and I felt like I was in space. I
Okay.
am in
Okay.
space. That is what I felt like. And
Hmm.
we're gonna tell you the reasons, and obviously we're gonna share our thoughts, like why I felt this way, right? And there are many things behind
This
this movie.
this
Yeah.
feeling I felt at the last climax part. I'll tell you when we reach there. Like I will tell you.
Okay, okay.
Yeah.
So, so yeah, man. When this movie started,
Yeah.
first, the conversation that was happening between Ryan, Matthew, and Sharif, three guys were there, right? Uh, they were in space and they were talking to each other, right? And
Yeah.
they were discussing what they are doing, and then they were talking to Boston. Boston tell
Hmm.
us about the update and report, whatever it is.
Yeah.
So at that time, I was figuring because I watched this movie in 2013 when this movie actually came,
You're so
right?
old,
And
bro.
after that, yeah, yeah, I was so old. You were not even born till
No,
that time.
I was born, but like I was in my school.
So I was also in my school, and that time I
I
watched
didn't
this
have this
movie.
exposure of movies back then.
You didn't have the exposure of movies. You were the one who directed that Woods, whatever that movie
Oh,
was.
okay.
No, no, let's talk about that. But okay, okay, guys,
Oh,
let's stay in space. We'll go in the woods some other time.
yeah.
So this guy is actually a director. You will know. So yeah, in the beginning when these guys were talking, and I thought this is more like a movie that situation that happened in future, somewhere
Mm-hmm.
in future like 2050, 2070. But it was not like that. That was fine. But when these guys started talking about, and their conversation is not so spacey. It
Yeah.
was it was very casual, especially Matthew
It was
was
actually very
keeping these people.
simplified for general audience as well.
Yeah, yeah, that way. So it was great to it was very easy to understand. And that Sharif guy, when he actually did something and he started singing this "Mera Joota Hai Japani" in Hindi, so I was like,
Mm.
yeah, shit, man, this is good. I watched that scene again, like I forwarded back, and then yeah,
Yeah.
so so it was great actually listening to Hindi things in these kind of big budget in Hollywood movies.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know, that was the time when it starts to when this part starts where you do not lose. And what was the reason behind was the cinematographer of this movie, Chio Emmanuel Lubicki, the same guy who
Yeah.
there in Birdman. So and and those one takes, at the middle of it, I was like, bro, this shot is not ending.
Yeah.
I literally paused that shot and I was like, why this is not breaking? There
Mm-hmm.
has to have some. Those long shots were the reason that that kept me engaged in that
Mm.
particular situation, in that scenario. And obviously, sound had his own depth.
Yeah.
How sound and
We'll
music.
go one by one.
Yeah,
So
yeah, yeah. So
yeah.
yeah.
For me, actually, as you said, that one take shots were amazing. But but you know what? Like first 2 3 minutes itself, like I was so invested in the movie that I didn't even realize this was all one take. Like even though there were cuts in this movie, but my brain was not like ready to see that, okay, now the shot is cut. But there has been some point where I feel, okay, suddenly I realize, okay, this cut, okay, now there are like multiple cuts. Then I realize, okay, oh, was this all in one take? So, I think that's a great sign of a director and a cinematographer who make sure that to engage in a shot that audience forget that uh, there should be a cut, or is it a long take, or is it like multiple cuts? So I was kind of lost in that.
You know, when George Clooney,
Hmm.
when he was coming in the beginning only, when these guys were Ryan was doing some stuff,
Yeah,
and then Matthew came towards her. So, there was Earth in the background,
yeah,
and
yeah.
we could see the reflection. You know, I saw that particular shot like 10 times
Hmm.
because the thing which is far behind from you
Yeah,
will never pass so fast.
yeah, yeah,
You see, when camera was following him at that particular way, when he was coming towards Diane,
yeah,
the Earth was the background, right?
yeah, yeah.
Simple, simple
It
science.
was still there.
And Earth was the background, but it was passing so fast.
Hmm.
So, and it's not like Matthew was going so fast.
Hmm.
So I was like, because obviously it is a game of filmmaking, right?
Yeah,
You have to create visuals. It is not like the visuals are there,
yeah,
right? You
yeah.
have to create it. And for me, the most interesting part to know was the reflection that they were making on their helmets.
Hmm.
That is something this movie, I just want to see how this was made, actually, how
Hmm.
this was visualized, every single bit of it. And the reflection part was one of my favorite things
Yeah,
that I was looking forward to know about. And and obviously how these guys are actually making them to float,
yeah, yeah.
right? How these things actually happen
Actually, you know
in.
what? Now you say the reflection part. Suddenly, I realized that obviously this movie was shot on Earth, on a studio or some place. Obviously, they didn't go and shoot in space. When you shoot wearing that transparent glass or transparent something like substance, and probably you will shoot in a green screen or a blue screen, and you want to get that proper lighting. Like imagine you shoot in a studio and the light is falling on your helmet. You'll have this glaze on your helmet, and while post production you want that in that helmet you want to show Earth's reflection. So it's kind of challenging, like when you look at it that way.
Imagine having a very big screen which has this visual and you are in front. Just like these
Yeah.
guys are not doing it, right? These
and
are
and
guys
you
are
know and
using
you
not using
one
green screen.
and you know one more thing you need to note down, that this movie released in 2014, right? 13,
13,
13.
13.
So obviously they had so many limitations of technology, but
At that time, I guess it was not very common to use big screens
yeah, yeah,
rather than
yeah.
using green screens because these guys were at that time Hollywood. Most of the people, production houses were using blue and green screens
Mm-hmm.
only, like even in Man of Steel,
Yeah, yeah,
right?
yeah.
So, so
They
even
they
if
started using this large screen in the Batman, which came in 2020, 22 or
22, yeah,
2022.
2022.
So
So
yeah, that was pretty amazing to watch it.
imagine if they have this big screen, but still placement of the
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
characters, right? Controlling their body movements. It was very mind-blowing. It's just like you will see one shot and you'll be like, how?
Yeah,
How it happened? Like
yeah.
how you guys did it? And because we both watch movies in a very different perspective, right? We have
Mm-hmm.
some little bit of information about cinematography, direction,
Mm-hmm.
right? So I was able to see on characters, especially on Ryan, the light difference,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
on her suit, that yeah, this light is something artificially added, and the light that is coming from the background means the space,
Yeah,
the
yeah.
sun. it is different. I could see the
Yeah,
difference,
yeah, obviously,
right?
obviously that
And
that's how it is.
that that difference was, I was able to catch it because obviously when for the very first time when I watched this movie, I was not even able to sure what was one take at
Yeah,
that
yeah,
particular
yeah,
time, right? But right now, I myself was thinking like the shot is not ending. The shot
yeah,
is not ending. Where is he taking it? And composing all that, the most beautiful shot according to me was when she enters that
yeah,
Russian
yeah.
space
Yes, yes,
station
yes, yes.
and wear out her all space
She
suit
removes all her spacesuit.
and fell asleep. You
Yeah,
know, I watched
that.
it twice or thrice and how it was composed
Yeah,
in a very beautiful way. That is what you call
yeah.
planning, blocking, cinematography, direction, whatever it is.
Actually, that shot reminded me of you see that mother's womb when a baby
Yeah.
you see a baby in mother's womb. So
Mhm.
it gave me that feeling that there's a big world outside and light is coming inside the spaceship satellite, and there's the astronaut who's resting there inside, and it looked very beautiful, and it looked magical. I don't know, like even lighting was very uh, magical lighting. I don't know, like how did they achieve that? Like,
She was so relaxed. I could felt that how tired she was at that particular moment because oxygen was about to be gone and
yeah,
she was just like competing with space. Like I have to
yeah,
go
yeah,
inside, I have to go inside. And in the background, Matthew was kept on motivating her,
yeah.
like, go Ryan, what kind of name is that, Ryan?
Hmm.
Right? And Matthew was a very great character in this particular movie.
Yeah,
And obviously when first time I was watching this movie and he comes back.
yeah,
You
yeah, yeah,
remember when he comes back, I was like, I was glad, oh, he came back, but that was all dream
yeah, yeah, yeah.
of Ryan.
That
So,
suddenly he gives that jump scare type of thing, that she's relaxed there, and suddenly you see knocking door, and he's like, okay, and I was like, she I was not concerned that okay, that guy has come to the door. I was concerned that she does not wear the helmet. As soon as he opens the door, she's gonna fly away. So I was concerned for that part, like, but then we realized that it's a dream sequence. She was missing him. So yeah, it was very uh, you know what, this movie kind of makes you realize that only in Earth you are surrounded with people. When you go out of the Earth, it's you versus the entire galaxy, the universe. There's one small thing you do, you fuck up, you're gonna disappear. Like no one will even find you, or you won't even matter there because you're just a dot. So it makes you very humble. Like whatever you
you
do,
know,
you have to just leave it over here. So it kind of reminded me of that.
when I was watching this movie, in the beginning of the movie, Matthew asked Ryan, what do you like about this place? Before Ryan could have said anything, something came out from my mouth and I said silence. And then she said also silence. I was like, yes,
Yeah,
because that is the only thing and the best thing you're gonna get there.
yeah,
There is nothing, sound cannot travel in space. And obviously, if I go to space, I'm also going to love the silence there.
yeah,
There is no sound, but obviously after a while you're gonna be sick of that silence.
yeah.
When there is a life death situation and you cannot call anybody.
True,
you
true.
you you are so far away from everybody that you cannot call anyone. And in this movie there were many, it's about space, how she escaped, how
Yeah.
she saved herself, but it was more like a life journey there.
Mm-hmm.
you know she kept on. There are many things that will keep you, that will make you demotivated about things. She could have
Yeah,
lost, she could have stayed in that Russian
yeah,
satellite,
satellite,
right?
yeah.
But she decided to come, and the same kind of struggle was going in her life as well,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Yeah,
So that's why Matthew came in his mind, came in her mind, because Matthew was the one who kept her talking when
Hmm.
for the very first time that particles came and they
Hmm.
everything was destroyed and she
Yeah.
was just roaming in the space. Then Matthew caught her and Matthew asked her like, is there anybody down there who's looking up for you?
Hmm.
And so she said about the daughter and stuff. So Matthew was a person who was able to uh, remind her that she has a life on earth as well, and that's why she needs to go back.
Hmm. Hmm.
Nice. This was nice.
Yeah. Actually, the best part of the whole film is I really like that the director, the approach the director took it. The director didn't focus on backstory or establishing the shots. He just directly went into the mission shots where something is already been happening there, and he takes the viewers to that same spot. Okay, you don't have to know anything. You don't have to know who the character is. You just have to come around in this situation. Uh, you remember that in this incident, I remember that for example, like someone is shot dead, and obviously in real life when someone is shot dead, you won't know, right, like who was the person who killed him. You'll be present in the situation, you'll be part of that situation. So for me, I felt that y- there there already something as established. You just have to be part of that incident, and that's when story starts. Actually, as the story progresses, you don't even want to know that what backstory of the protagonist and Matt Ryan. Like you don't want to know because obviously after every 5 to 10 minutes, there's something new coming every 5 to 10 minutes. So obviously you won't have that mindset. Okay, okay, now we want to see something about them. We want to know how did they come up here, who sent him. We didn't have visuals of Earth, like like space stations contacting them. People are worried in the Earth, like their family members, because obviously uh, the director wanted to show only perspective of themselves and above Earth. So it kind of
Yeah, yeah, the isolation.
yeah, isolation. So it kind of played very amazing in this. So yeah, and actually, you know what? Uh, while watching this movie, even I was relaxed because even I like silence, and the whole movie was silent. In a way, it was silent, so it never felt like okay, something is too noisy or too something. It felt like meditation, look, because uh, most of the movie scenes were silent itself, like just low pass filter, not more than that. But it was kind of relaxing because it had less noise, but more of visually appealing shots. So yeah, it was very great.
And guys, we are not still talking about the sound designing. We'll
Oh
come
yeah,
to
yeah,
we'll come there.
yeah, yeah. Sound,
It is
yeah,
about the real sound that presented, and it was
yeah,
silence.
yeah,
You know, my favorite sequence in this movie, obviously the last one as well,
yeah, yeah. This same thing.
but the one when she was trying to escape the Russian satellite
Mm-hmm.
in that small spaceship in
Yeah,
space shuttle, when because it was like stuck
yeah,
in
yeah.
that rope was stuck somehow, and
Parachute type of thing.
yeah, then she didn't know how to fly that shuttle, and
Yeah,
then she kept on trying, and how closely she was just missing.
yeah, yeah, yeah,
Because
yeah.
if that shuttle would have damaged, she got saved, and it had only 0.1% of chance, and
Yeah,
she took it,
yeah,
right? And that is why she was able to save herself. And the sequence was so engaging that she was not breaking. She was terrified, she stopped the shuttle in the middle of it, and then she decided to come out, and that she hated so much to go out in the space, but she did, and she started removing those wires, and then those particles came back
Mm-hmm.
that were rotating around the earth. And she was outside when everything was moving, and I was
Yeah,
like, how camera is following her.
yeah,
It was so great how camera was following her. Means everything when everything was breaking down and everything was one take only. From the point when she came out and from the point she came inside, went inside. I was like, this is the power of visual creation, where you are not even considering what is the story. You are just so much engaged into the visuals and you just don't want to lose it.
yeah. One more thought I had, that although this movie had very less cuts, they could have shot this entire film in one take. What if that was a possibility? Because obviously, everything, whatever they did in one, like one flow. So it didn't had like like time jumps. Everything was done in like few hours. That's what I guess. So they could have taken the approach of one take, what they took in Birdman, like.
So what I was thinking about these things, right? When I was watching that, yeah, there are so many one take shots there. But there was a difference when you are inside and when you are out in the space. So
Yeah.
also to communicate that part, there is a cut.
Mm-hmm.
Because when you are going inside, you going to interact with the that you are having that also one take shot.
Uh,
So the
Actually, we lost you. Like when you,
hello,
yeah,
yeah, yeah, yeah.
yeah,
So
the
I
same
was,
thing. The
yeah,
when
I
she
was,
came inside.
yeah, yeah. So there is a difference when you are talking about the shots that are inside, means the
Mm-hmm.
space shuttle, right?
Mm-hmm.
And the shots which are out in the space. So mostly the cuts were happening there when they need to tell you that there is something different is going to happen, some different phase is going to be introduced.
Mm-hmm.
So I was also thinking that, yeah, one take approach could have been taken, but
Yeah.
I guess a director wanted somewhere people to stop and then
Mm-hmm.
start think again.
You know what? Easily one take shots could have been achieved in this whole movie, because if you look properly, the main,
I
y-
looked properly.
yeah,
Don't I'm not just saying that, but
yeah.
yeah, obviously
No, no, no.
I
I'm saying why. Because when you look properly, there's only one character who's gonna uh, play entire for the entire film, Ryan, and she had conversation with Matt, uh, very in very few scenes. So we can just show that, it's just my approach. Uh, when Ryan, like, they could have staged a shots where uh, Ryan like always comes inside and goes outside often when Matt is around her. So in this way, they could have conversation inside as well and outside as well, or they could communicate with those satellite phones, so that we could know the perspective of Matt and Ryan as well, inside and out. So that's what one approach could have been taken there.
okay.
Yeah,
Yeah, it
because
might be.
Matt didn't play that huge role in this whole movie, because Ryan was the main protagonist of this. So obviously,
Mhm.
she was a main lead, right? So audience, uh, she could lead audience that, what she's experiencing.
Okay, so there is also one more thing I would say. When there is one take,
Hmm.
right? So there is no breathing. But
Yeah, yeah.
right, so when we were watching Birdman,
Hmm.
so Birdman was not like this, right?
Hmm.
Birdman has a average velocity that we were following. Sometimes
Hmm.
it is going high, sometimes, but what was not going so high
Hmm.
that we can go out of breath, right? Our
Hmm.
mind can go out of breath. But when we talk about gravity, where we are always accelerating, and at
Yeah.
some moments our speedometer is actually going
Hmm. Yeah.
off because we are on a different level. So sometimes what I think a director would have thought that there has to have some breathe,
Mm-hmm.
right? Audience should feel that breathe because the shots are so engaging.
Yeah,
You
yeah,
feel
yeah,
like you feel because the sound is also playing a very crucial role. That is like boiling up your adrenaline, right?
yeah,
Boiling up your
yeah, yeah.
blood continuously. That is what it is doing. It was doing. So their director wanted to give some breathing space for the audience. Okay, because there is this one shot when she was in that Chinese
Mm-hmm.
shuttle
Mm-hmm.
at the last.
Yeah,
So her helmet was in space over her. It was levitating over,
yeah.
so they show that shot where she was holding the helmet, and the other cut is when she's wearing it.
Mm-hmm.
So there could have been one single shot as well,
Yeah,
right? Just
yeah, yeah.
camera going down. But director had his perspective to show that, right?
Mm-hmm.
So but their breathing space was not required. I also thought
Yeah,
that they could have just gone this way, but it's fine.
yeah.
It's not the thing about complaining. It's just if there are cuts between longer one takes, so
Mm-hmm.
it is mainly because of that breathing space that director wanted to give audience, right?
Mm-hmm.
So that and one more thing can also be happen is also question about the feasibility because
Mm-hmm.
you are talking about space. It's not it is not like you are roaming around
Mm-hmm.
on in a theater, right?
Yeah.
And right. So when it's about space, you have to show a different level of it
Mm-hmm.
in a way that at one place a person is trying to calm her mind and other place everything is being destroyed, right?
Mm-hmm.
So that also talks about the feasibility, right?
Yeah.
How much feasible things can be at that particular moment, and what are the how much they can do, right?
Mm-hmm.
Whatever they done is absolutely amazing, but
Yeah.
yeah.
But yeah, yeah, like now I think of it, if they could have taken one shot approach, we would have missed those enormous shots, the giant shots where Earth is behind and spaceships are this small. So we could have missed those shots. But yeah, yeah, now it makes sense that instead of one take, they could have gone few takes, like not like so many cuts, few takes, where we could see like quick shots of outside, quick shots of inside, and quick shots of like mids of uh, the spacecrafts and satellites. So yeah, this.
Because they done a pretty good job in just like creating one camera shot from extreme close up to longer shot,
Hmm.
and then they are showing outer space at the
Hmm.
same time when she was in Russian space station, I suppose. So there was this one shot where she was looking out, yeah, Russian space satellite, and she was looking outside for
Hmm.
mat,
Yeah,
right?
yeah,
So her reflection was in the glass, on the glass, and then we can see the entire space, but as well as we are seeing the close up of her. You
yeah,
see,
yeah, yeah, yeah.
so it is basically in one particular frame you are showing the long shot
You're showing the
as well
depth,
as
the
close up.
depth.
Yeah, an extreme close up shot, and then the camera goes back, and then we follow Ryan
Hmm.
from one place to another because yeah. So this was the composition, right?
Hmm.
And they took their chances to make it happen,
Yeah,
right?
yeah,
Visualizing it. I'm just thinking about the visualizing part, like
yeah,
how
yeah,
you think about it.
yeah.
That is what I want to see because breaking down, like we've been talking like
Hmm.
about the movies like so far, and we never think about those movies. Like we mostly talk about the story part, but because we know like
Hmm.
visuals can be created, right?
Yeah,
They are in a city, they are on train, or they are on a plane, but when it's about space,
yeah, yeah,
right? You are visualizing something you never been
yeah.
to, right?
Actually, I've read it somewhere that the things which are not common to a common person to present, we need to present them in a way that a common person should identify and kind of gets adjusted to that image or scenario, because me and you, we don't go to space every day, or currently we're not recording this in space, I guess. So for us, like, watching a moon or a sun from that point of view would obviously make me surprised, or I even don't know that even the Earth looks the way what they show in movies, because I have never been there. So I know Earth how they show in movies and how the photos are presented to me. So for me, uh, now it's adjusted that, yeah, okay, now the Earth looks like this from outer space. So yeah, like we like there are few things that director made sure that everything looks lively, not fake. And appreciating that now this movie has come in 2013. All the things what space shuttles, the satellites, and all the interior part of the spaceships looked really close to reality. I don't know what they did. Even when I look at the budget, right, it was not that heavily invested movie. It was kind of mid-budget movie, because I don't think they've spent so much in this, but still they pulled off very crazy production in this, and it looked super realistic, and I'm still surprised.
I was a very big fan of the visuals, right, in
Yeah,
the direction of it. But what was making it more engaging? The music, man.
sounds.
Because the sound,
Yeah,
I was watching every single sequence like two,
yeah,
three times. I was going back, watching and going back,
yeah,
especially the one when she was escaping from the Russian satellite in the shuttle,
yeah,
and the second one was when she was reaching Earth.
yeah.
Man, oh man, oh man.
You actually miss so many other scenes which I'm gonna cover you. Like
No,
okay,
no. I'm talking about which one I liked the
okay,
most.
okay.
Okay.
Yeah,
It is obviously everywhere the sound was pretty good, but
yeah,
there are two sequences that I liked the most.
okay,
Sound as well as the visuals. And I saw that like five, six times, going back and watching it, going back and watching it. Every single thing I was trying to understand. Okay,
yeah,
sound is there, means whatever the layers were there in those particular sequence, as many times I was watching those.
yeah,
Like
yeah.
for one time just for the visual, one time for this for the music, one time for just for the acting part, dialogue delivery, right?
Mm-hmm.
So, and it was like generating so much adrenaline inside of me.
Yeah.
And that we talked about, I told you about one idea.
Ah, yes, 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 yes.
So, at that particular moment, I realized,
I had this visions when I was watching this movie. Like, okay, this might fit there. This might. So
I was thinking a cinematographer like Chivo and this
mhm.
kind of sound design. Uh, when she was in when she entered the
At
Chinese
the end.
satellite, right? And then she directly went to the shuttle,
Mhm.
small shuttle. So I remember when it blast,
Mhm.
that sound I listened five, six times. It was so great. I was like, how they actually produced that sound.
Mhm.
Literally, it was like a motivated sound for me. It was actually a blast, but it was a motivated sound for me. I was like, how cool is it?
Yeah.
And it enhanced that particular shot. And those kind of things motivated me for that idea that I told you about,
Yeah. Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
So I was thinking a cinematographer like Chivo who has this specialty of creating one take shots,
Yeah.
and then having a team who has this uh, khatarnak level of sound designing. You
Yeah.
see, because what we discussed about, those are bigger visuals,
Yes. Yes. Yes.
bigger than ever existed, and we are going in outer space only. But
Yeah.
yeah, I guess we are not going to talk about that much because that is something we want to make only.
Yeah.
So yeah, man, it
So
was so relieving for me, and I was so motivated about this movie.
Mm.
because of the sound. Yeah.
So, so my take on sound will be slightly different because uh, because usually whatever the sounds they showcased in the whole movie in outer space was was very satisfying because whatever sounds they showed in the film, it had that low pass filter kind of thing. When you edit something, when you apply a low pass filter, it makes your sound very uh, it feels like you're saying something but inside a pillow. So the sound gets buried down there, and when you talk something, when you tell something, it kind of makes your body relaxing because the sound, the low pass filters have this ability to kind of relaxing quality, and I really liked it. And one more thing is even uh, there are so many scenes which had like one take violin uh, sounds which kind of depicted that spaceships are traveling here, that one string of violin like in the same note where it shows that like from point A to point B it's going. So it kind of made it didn't they didn't add so many layers of it because they kept it simple as possible, and that kind of stood out. And one more challenging part was you remember when Ran and Matt, when they tie each other with the rope and they travel to a station, and there they kind of uh, get they encounter a space station where they suddenly their the thread cuts that rope, and there you will see that Matt and Ren they spin like very quickly, they spin. And there if you look, if you hear closely, one spin the music changes, like the note changes. So like if sound is going in the same pattern, there the note changes, and one more skip, the note changes. So note changes, note changes. And hearing in this headphones, oh damn man, this was so cool. I'm so glad that they didn't have the same note. They could have put a same note, but the director wanted that when you change the position, the speakers or the sound where the original the way they were intended to should be changed. Like it gives a spatial sound, spatial audio sound. So when you move that side, the audio comes from that side. So it kind of it's very smartly placed. Like I really like that part.
That was the thing about the
Yeah,
yeah man means that's why it won Academy Award for
yeah.
the for sound
Sound
mixing,
mixing, yeah.
because this is what we call sound mixing,
And the highlight part was the climax thing. I was like, oh
bro.
shit, I need more of this. I need more of this. Even though that scene was very short, but it had so much impact. Like she goes down, it's low pass. She comes up, it's normal. And it kind of gave me that horror vibe. Like she went down, it's stopped. She came up, like the music starts. So it could have been used properly in horror movies as well because it had that quality.
I don't know, it didn't give me the horror vibe, but the vibe that it gave me
Yeah,
was like not giving up and like overcoming something,
yeah.
and you know having one hell of a story to tell people about,
Mm,
because that is what she was keep on, and Matt was also telling her that you are going to have one hell of a story when you're gonna go back to
mm.
Earth, right? So how beautifully they compose the last sequence. You won't feel like she is falling. You
Yeah,
will feel like she's elevating.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah, that is what you'll feel. She's like a queen who is followed by all other fire particles,
Yeah,
whatever, and
yeah,
they are following her, and she is the one who is leading
yeah.
them towards a new arena, whatever.
Mm,
So, and she didn't give up till the last breath, till the last part. And how she entered, and the struggle we could feel when she was inside water
Yeah,
and
yeah,
she
yeah.
was taking off her
I
space.
could
You
I
know
could
that
literally
struggle.
I could literally feel that because
That
because uh like I have fear of water, okay? So the claustrophobic feelings what she had wearing the suit, I could literally feel that okay, the suit is making her heavier. So she untied all the
she couldn't go up.
yeah,
She was
yeah,
trying 2, 3 times, and then camera goes up, and you'll be like, "Oh, we have lost her." When
yeah,
then she comes up,
true, true, true.
that is what the power of
Yeah,
creating visuals, right? Showing her that she is not down now. You are not going to look down at her. You are going to look up because
yeah,
she is
yeah,
there only. And then she comes up, and how she hugs Earth, and I remember when she was standing up and put her left feet in
yeah,
front, and then music, that beat comes. I was like, shit, this is,
yeah,
this was like when first time Neil Armstrong put his feet on moon. It's
yeah, yeah,
like she would have felt the same way,
yeah,
that
yeah.
I put my feet on earth back again.
Actually, you know what? I could feel that when she came to the earth, when she was uh, stepping out of the water. Uh, I've read it somewhere that when astronauts when they come from the sky from the outer space and when they come back to the earth, they it takes them few hours or few days to stand up properly because their body is used to the atmospheric level, the gravity what they experience in space. So there are few videos you can actually check it where as soon as astronauts land in Earth, they cannot walk. Like they drop things. Like imagine like astronaut drinking water in the Earth. Like he just landed on Earth. He forgets that okay he just drops it and the water falls because they're used to that atmosphere where they drink or they eat something and they leave it because obviously it floats. So they're used to that
Yeah.
atmosphere. So I've seen many videos that as soon as they step on Earth, most of the astronauts, majority of astronauts, they don't walk first. People lift them. So I could feel that they have showed it properly, like real life based. That she's an astronaut. She landed on Earth, and she's not able to walk because her body is not adapted to the situation on Earth. It'll take her time, but she managed to walk because obviously she had like good body, man. Like I was like, oh shit, dude, she has like crazy muscles.
Muscles. I was also like, obviously, because that is what these astronaut has to do, because they have to have muscles,
Yeah,
because they are in outer space and they have to move, because all the time when she was opening the gate for every satellite,
yeah,
she was about to lose it.
yeah,
She was about to lose the hold, but because she had muscles, because as an astronaut she trained for it,
yeah, yeah,
right? So that also displayed the right thing, like, yeah, these are not ordinary
yeah,
people
yeah, yeah.
who live on earth, but people who trained themselves to go outer space,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Yeah.
And in this movie, there was a it was well composed, and even in the story, they were talking about their past lives,
Mm-hmm.
but you never feel curious about it,
Yeah,
right?
yeah,
You because you are so engaged in the visuals, you just want her to reach earth.
yeah.
That is what you want,
Actually,
because
you know what? Yeah,
whatever happened in your past doesn't matter if you are not going to live,
yeah, yeah,
right?
yeah, yeah,
So that is what it is all about.
yeah,
You have to live for it. Otherwise, nothing matters. Whether you
yeah,
lost your daughter, whether you lost your husband, nobody cares. If you are not alive, then
yeah,
it
yeah,
won't matter, man.
yeah. You know, that's what I said. Like at the starting of the podcast, I said you that obviously in this scenario, this situation, and this movie, you don't have to know anything past related to a character because obviously there's no need to know because whatever is happening, uh, that's what you need to be aware of that as an audience because it doesn't matter that you have something in the past or something you're looking for. And as an audience, even I don't crave for, I want to know something about Rand's life. I don't want to know something about Matt's life because I want to know that, okay, when are they leaving from here? When are they completing their mission and they're leaving back to Earth? So that was in my mind, that when are they going to complete this? I never wanted to know anything from their boats of lives. So that situation fits properly there. That yeah, there are few films we talk about a lot of time, that they could have been a backstory of this, or they could have been a separate part of this. But in this movie, we don't feel that the requirement of the backstory or something like that, because yeah, you're already engaged in that.
Yeah, you just because you learn how present is like a present for you,
Yeah,
and
yeah,
you
yeah.
have to make a worth out of it, right?
Yes.
You know, uh, I remember when she was falling and she keep on saying that I might reach Earth or I might die in 10 minutes, right?
Mm-hmm.
But I'm sure of it that it is going to be hell of a ride.
Yeah.
So
She had
because
tears
she
on her
was not
face.
she she was scared before
Yeah.
when she was with Matt, even when she was in Russian station, when she got to know that there is no fuel in the shuttle, right? But when she was there in that Chinese shuttle and she was falling down, she had no fear. She knew what
Yeah.
is
Yeah.
going to happen is going to happen, and that that created so engagement in that particular scene, and music was like pushing that particular
Yeah.
sequence so much.
Yeah.
It was like a booster. We could feel how with how much power she is coming down, and
Yes.
for us
Yes.
it was like an elevating moment of the movie,
Yeah.
right?
Who
We
who who
cannot
was the
just
music
lose it.
composer of it? Like, yeah.
Well, there is this guy who won Oscar for best sound editing is called Glenn Fremantle. Yeah. So he won for best sound editing, same movie. And sound mixing was done by Christopher Benstead, Chris Monroe, some, yeah.
Stephen Price. Music by Stephen Price.
Yeah, music by Stephen Price.
Yeah. And yeah. So Stephen Price.
But
Okay.
mixing,
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
was fan of the mixing,
True. True. True.
man.
True. This comes from Water Tower music. Okay. So uh, one more interesting fact I would say. Uh, so so Water Tower music, I guess they're part of Warner Bros. Music, I guess. So till now, the music, what type of music I listen to, or like take music films as like Batman or Tenet, Oppenheimer, uh, yeah, etc. etc. Now I'm not remembering which movies, but all these movies are produced by the same company, like the same production house. So I could feel that okay, they have something. I don't know what these guys are doing. They're not making good DC films, but they're making good songs, like music. So I kind of feel crazy, man. Like, yeah, and Hans Zimmer also is part of this project. Like, not this movie, but he has worked with this production house in Interstellar. Like, okay, we'll just have this conversation sometime.
Yeah, yeah, some other time. But yeah, man, Chivo uh, took pretty great approach in that, and I got motivated to work with him. Obviously, we are not
Yeah,
at that level,
yeah,
so we reach him. But yeah,
yeah,
we want to be there, and but I'm sure of it that he will understand the visuals, and
yeah,
because having him on the project that I was talking to you about
yeah, yeah.
would be like the one of the luckiest thing we'll be making for
True, true,
Jaftaf,
true, true.
right? And and the kind of visuals I was imagining out there on the moon, out there on space.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, man, creating will be hell of a ride. And
Yeah,
now I am motivated after watching Gravity that I'm I'm going to have like a huge amount of budget for sound mixing, designing, and
yeah,
music.
yeah.
I'm going to take
True.
as much money as you want, but create the best thing possible out there.
Yeah,
The sounds that people never listened before,
true, true.
because we're gonna go there. and
Yes,
the
yes.
creating visuals is our part. We're
Yeah.
gonna take care of it. You just create the sound and music of it,
Yeah.
man. Because how much elevating it make you feel.
Hmm.
Adrenaline, I could feel adrenaline
Yeah.
everywhere, man. It was, and Sandra Bullock, we should we should obviously say that how beautifully and what an acting she did. What an acting. It was like cherry on top how she performed.
Hmm.
It is going to be hell of a ride, man. When she
Yeah.
said it and the tears that were falling on camera,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Chivo is,
Yeah.
man, he's these guys are gods of the filmmaking, like
True.
I
True.
always say.
Actually, even I have the same thing. Like, whenever like I have a project to create, uh, there might be I might go somewhere lenient towards visual part, but uh, my approach will always be to give better sound. Like, so even I crave for good sound, because I think visual, there might be slightly here and there visual part you can make error in visuals, but for me, more than visuals, for me sound matters. So yeah, if anything projects we work on, I tell you now that we're gonna spend more on music, and and yeah, that's it.
Yeah, the point is that creating good visuals is something we gonna do. So we are
Yeah,
not going to mistake in that
yeah,
part,
yeah, yeah.
right? But when we are relying on somebody, we want the best out of
True,
them.
true, true.
So that is what he's trying to say,
Yeah, yeah,
right?
yeah,
Because obviously, not making defects in visuals also our goal,
yeah,
right? But creating an music that is not our forte. That is not something
yeah,
we would do. But if we are paying so much money for it, obviously we want the best,
yeah, yeah, yeah.
right? Because we understand the visuals that we see,
Hmm.
so we want the best for it, right?
True, true.
So, man, music, obviously we're gonna invest so much
Yeah,
money on that because it has to match our visuals
true, true, true.
because
Yeah,
they are going to be the
yeah.
elitist for that particular time.
Because
But yeah, man.
yeah, because actually recently when Oppenheimer came, I was watching this Oppenheimer documentaries, that how they made this, how the process was taking place. So there I saw that while creating that, can you hear the music soundtrack for the Oppenheimer? Do you remember this? Can you hear the music?
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
for that, uh, Christopher Nolan had given a brief to Ludwig, the sound composer, a music composer. So he was like, uh, we want a music to show in the mind of Oppenheimer that he's stressed, he's going through something, and you want to create that tension between his mind, and nothing fancy. So that this was a brief given by Christopher Nolan to Ludwig, and I don't know what happened, what miracle happened. He came up with this sound, what we hear in now. I'm like,
Yeah.
this brief is not even like a brief. It's just a casual few words that I want something which is going through
Yeah.
Oppenheimer's mind, and you just have to create this. And I still feel that how did they come up with that crazy sound with just few brief, like even like we both are experienced while in productions, while on set, we give brief to clients, or they give us briefs, clients give us a brief, we work on few things, but client doesn't like the approach what we take, or we don't like the approach what clients tell us. So we kind of don't come to a situation where we both are in the same ground. Like, so I don't know what happened or how did they come up with this sound. Still, it kind of makes me that surprised that just few words, very little brief, he came up with this legendary sound. So there I felt you need to have a really good music composer, which will elevate your whole visionary uh, artistry, whatever you're presenting. So
They
yeah,
both are creators, right? One
yeah,
is visual and other one is the music.
yeah,
So there was an understanding
yeah,
what is the requirement and what needs to be done.
yeah.
So I guess when you understand the concept,
Mm-hmm.
and that is what the guy would have understood, that so they won't be acting like clients, obviously, right?
Yeah, obviously. I'm just
They
giving
are going
our
to,
examples,
yeah,
like
yeah.
you deal with clients and I deal with clients.
Yeah, I understood. I
Yeah.
understood. It's just they both are creative people. The
Mm-hmm.
people who create from scratch,
Yes, yes.
right? So they understand what needs to be done. And when there is an understanding between the director and the other department
Yeah,
heads,
yeah,
so the message can be communicated. And
yeah.
obviously, Christopher Nolan always chooses the best people
Yeah,
for
actually,
his
one
project.
more thing is they've been working for a long time, like
Yeah,
more
that
than
is the thing.
yeah,
That is also a thing, na, that
yeah.
um, uh, we both understand, right,
Mm-hmm.
what is the requirement for this and that.
Yes, yes.
Similarly, they're having the same kind of uh, communication between these two people, like, and he would have understood, like, I know Nolan, what he would have wanted for this.
Yeah.
I can make it. So
Yes.
yeah, that kind of approach we want to take with music composers, and
Yes.
we will be glad, like, people like us who are just new to this field would
Yes.
come forward, who are great in their fields,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Right. So working with people like this, and yeah, that would be great. But when it's about space,
Yeah.
I'm going to go for the best.
True. Yes.
Yeah, man, it was great. When I was 2 years back, when I was watching Dune 1,
Mm-hmm.
so I
Oh.
was talking to my boss in Shuttercraft Studios, Uday sir.
Yeah.
So we were discussing, like, what could be the reason that Dune won for best visual effects, best cinematography, best sound designing. It's just these are the sounds people never hear
Here every
before.
day. Yeah.
It is something new, and when you are creating something new which never existed before, and it has so much depth, which
Yeah.
is
Yeah.
communicated to you with visuals, right? So it create impacts
Yeah.
on its own, not on its own, but it impacts
Yes. Yes.
very greatly. So what I believe is, even if a movie is winning award for one category, even if receiving award for one category is just one aspect of it, but making it to its fullest required everything.
Mm-hmm.
Even if the sound is great, because of the visual, it looked great,
Yeah. Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Because of the acting, it was delivered perfectly,
Yeah.
right? So
You can say that everything is connected. Like
connected to it, it's
yeah.
just you are receiving award for one thing,
Yeah. Yeah.
right? Cinematography, Chivo won a first ever Academy Award for this,
Mm-hmm.
for best cinematography, but because of the sounds, because of the
Yeah.
direction, you were able to, he was able to create and make, because of the sound, these shots were so engaging
Mm-hmm.
that people are, like, not losing a
Yes.
single thing.
Yes.
Just like
Yes.
you said about that violent thing from one A to B,
Yeah.
going, all these shots, when they were in one take, and whatever the techniques that Chivo used, because
Mm-hmm.
of a consolidified idea of it, made those 7 Academy Awards for this movie.
Yeah.
So yeah, man, it was hell of a thing, man. And Sandra Bullock, even she didn't win Academy Award for this. It is no question about it. She did what she had to do,
Yeah.
and it was great. Sandra Bullock is a great actor. She
Yeah.
and
She
then
she she had like crazy like muscles too. Like
yeah, for that particular movie.
yeah.
So, but yeah, man, the movie named Gravity, but it definitely elevated me from the ground, and I seriously felt it.
We
am
were
telling you, I
we
went to
we both
washroom
were
and I was like, I was in space.
yeah we both were levitating after watching this movie.
Yeah, I was, and yeah, man, after watching it after around like 10 years, I've felt it didn't feel like I was it's an old movie, 10 years old
Yeah.
movie.
You know
Man.
you know one more thing is, uh, you watch a movie in this current timeline, and you watch the same movie after 5 years or 10 years. Visuals are same, audios are same, everything is same, but the feeling what you receive watching this one more time after a few years will change you because you have changed as a person. And
Okay.
yeah, because now you told that you watched this movie 10 years back. So back then you were not in that mind that you didn't have any, like, you were in school, the lifestyle was different. But
Yeah,
now,
obviously, obviously.
yeah,
Now we discuss movies in a very
yeah.
different level,
See,
bro. We
I will say you one more thing. We take this movie and discuss after 5 years or after 3 4 years. The points what we told in this episode might change because we'll become older, we'll become wiser. We'll see a lot of other things, and we'll consume the movie not as the way what we're consuming right now. So
I would wish that after 5 6 years we are making a movie like that.
yes, yes, we're talking
Yeah.
about our movie.
People are talking about our movie, so
Yeah,
that
I mean, like
that
we are giving our insights, like how did we shoot that scene, what happened, like we're talking
yeah,
about
yeah,
this.
yeah. That
I wish we won't take it 5 years, but we'll complete less than 5 years,
Yeah,
probably.
yeah. Let's hope for the best. And just like
Yes,
we say, the first rule of the Jaftaf is one step at a time. So
yes,
we're gonna go that way. And guys, uh, yeah, this is it from my side, I would say. And
yeah,
it was great talking about this movie. We both were thinking, what are we going to talk about this movie? And but yeah,
yeah,
every episode for us is like that only.
yeah,
That we end up talking about these movies a lot because these are the magic, these are the gifts that are given by the gods of filmmaking, and
yes,
we actually worship their work.
yes,
That
yes,
is that is what kind of people we are, and
yeah,
yeah. So it was great talking about this movie, and the whole cast, the whole creation of this movie was a gift for the filmmaking part.
yeah, yeah,
So yeah, man, it was great. I was elevated. I'm meditating.
yeah,
After all that dark shit, these movies are now helping us to overcome.
yeah.
That is what I feel.
But soon we're gonna return to the dark zone very soon,
Yeah,
very soon.
yeah. It's like we are just preparing ourselves, making our
Yeah,
mind clean.
yeah,
Detoxification is going
because
on.
we have like a lot of dark shit coming on the future episodes, which even I'm not prepared for, but we manage. We manage. So
That's how we do it.
yeah, that's what she
This is
said.
what
But
and this is who Jaftafs are. So yeah, guys, it was hell of a talking,
yes,
man, and we're gonna talk about so many movies like that. Recommend us in the
yeah,
comments, like and subscribe, and please
yes,
share this to the people because sooner or later you're gonna know about us
yes,
by us or by somebody else,
true,
and I'm confident about it. So yeah, guys,
true. Yeah, like tell us your thoughts. What do you liked about this episode, and what can be fixed or what can be improved, and share with your people and tell us what's your experience watching the movie Gravity. And we want to know. We want to read comments. We are eagerly waiting for reading comments.
yeah, and if you came so far, just write in comment, don't fall.
Yeah,
Okay, that would be great.
yeah. Or
So
you can just put an emoji of like spaceship.
yeah,
I
whatever.
you have seen me. I usually use that rocket emoji. So
Yeah,
yeah,
khatarnak bhai.
that's my favorite emoji after the laughing thing because
Yeah, you guys can actually drop that shuttle, that
yeah,
rocket
the
in the
rocket thing.
comments.
Yeah,
That will
yeah,
motivate us to
yeah,
elevate ourselves for next other episodes. But yeah, we're gonna keep on coming, and guys, please like and subscribe. It
yeah.
was hella for talking.
Yes,
Let's meet again soon. Peace out
yes. Peace out from Earth.
to the space.
Yes,
Space behind.
yes.
Okay,
Okay, see
guys.
you.
I guess I'm going to go back to my Earth.
Yeah,
So bye. Have fun.
cool. Bye.